James, we're here at the training centre after a win for the East of Scotland team against Peebles Rovers at the weekend. What were your reflections on that game, please?
Yeah, it was a very tough game, a bit different to the game we played them a couple of weeks ago. We knew it was going to be tough. The pitch was more difficult, windy conditions, everything what we expected it to be in East of Scotland. But the boys done well to come through. It was 2-0 and we conceded a goal late in the injury time, which was a bit disappointing to lose a clean sheet, but we've done well and I think deserved to win the game.
How pleased were you with the response? Because it has been a bit of a difficult few weeks, hasn't it, for the under-20s in the East of Scotland team. Obviously losing our unbeaten record in the East of Scotland League and obviously losing in the SPFL under-20 League as well. How important was it to bounce back?
It's very important. I think we're making so many changes just now and everybody's getting a game and there's no continuity in the team, and this always happens from my experience. You get a stage in the season where you're making too many changes and you're constantly changing the back four and changing your goalkeepers, and it's not an excuse for losing games, but your continuity that you had is being broken up now. It becomes very difficult for players, but it's good to get back to winning ways, and we're not here to ultimately look at results, about developing players and in their stage of their development. I think that they're doing quite well so far.
You mentioned that it's not about the results, it's about development of young players. Jason Cummings has become the latest player to be promoted up into the first team. He made his debut against Inverness. How pleased were you with that?
That was brilliant. I mean, it's a great one for us because Jason's not really come through the academy. He was a signing from Boys Club just at the end of last season, and me personally, having had him come in and train with us, pushed to get him signed. So it was good that when you stick your neck out for a player that he's able to repay, and hopefully it's the start of many games. I think he's already caught the eye of the manager and Morris, so Jason just needs to work hard now and try and get a wee bit more of that.
How much does that act as an inspirational tool then for the rest of the group, because they can see one of their peers being given first team recognition? Does it mean, have you seen everyone raise their game after that?
Well, slightly. I mean, I think the boys are pretty honest anyway, and they give it 100% every time they train and play. So I think when you see someone that's in your changing room go and make it their debut for Hibs, then maybe give you a bit of belief that you can do it as well. So hopefully we get another one that breaks through soon and catches the manager's eye. How
many is that now in the last few years? Because we've seen quite a few, haven't we, being given a taste of first team action, and the likes of obviously Alex Harris has made a massive impact at first team level. Yeah. How many is that now since you've been involved at the club?
That's 12. Well, since I took over as under 19 sub-league 20s coach now, that's 12 debutants I've had in the 3 years. I think it's just 3 years now, so I'm pretty proud of that. That's good for the 12, and especially when 4 of them are played in the Scottish Cup final. I'm just probably pretty greedy, and hopefully the number keeps rising, and the ones that have played clock up a few more appearances and go on and sustain a place in Hibs first team.
Looking wider, do you feel that's the way forward for Scottish football in general, to actively promote homegrown players, young Scottish talent, and give them a platform to play? Absolutely.
I think most of the clubs in Scotland have went down the foreigners route, and financially and all the rest of it, it's good to attract top foreign players, but if you're just attracting foreigners that could come in and do the same job as an 18, 19-year-old that's homegrown, I think absolutely. I think there's a lot of good talent in Scotland just now, and it just needs developed and progressed, and I think we've got a good future ahead if that happens.
You certainly noticed it in the Edinburgh Derby now is pretty much what the East of Scotland teams were from a couple of years ago. That was the case, wasn't it, when we won there at Tynecastle last year, when Ross Caldwell obviously scored the winner. There was something ridiculous, wasn't there, like 11 or 12 players that had played in the East of Scotland Shield match about 2 years before.
It is. It's fantastic to see players from both sides, really. I mean, I know it was said recently that we had only beaten Hearts, I think, once in under 19-20 football. I think somebody had not done their homework there, because we've beaten them every year in the East of Scotland, and we knocked them out in the Scottish Cup back to back. And obviously the derby, you're talking about the first team derby, there was a number of players on both sides that have played under 19-20 and come through the academy. So I think the future is bright. It's just whether these players at 19-20 can go and take their chance and develop into the men's football and keep going.